without further ado, please welcome Principal Software Engineer from Umee, Robert Zaremba.
Hello, everyone.
All right. This is yours. The stage is yours. Thank
you. Welcome, Gateway Prague. It's cool to be here. And I'm going to make a gateway to Umee money markets. Let's go on. So today, I'm very happy that Umee is the largest borrowing and lending protocol for all IBC assets. We are the #1, and we want to be in that position. In contrast to leading protocols as Compound and Aave, which allows only high liquid and high cap assets to be used as a collateral, we enable small cap assets. Thanks to our historical implementation at the beginning of the year, we've been successful to deploy small assets as a collateral and onboard them on a lending chain. And probably if you know that lending system is among the most powerful ones for DeFi, for finance, in fact. They set the foundations for the efficient money markets. They enable leverage opportunities, capital efficiency, safe passive income, cash flows, and of course, plays very well with liquid staking derivative. And today, Umee is also the biggest lending system for LSDs in Cosmos. And because of that, our mission is really to be the most safety-first lending algorithm built as a blockchain. So enter into Umee. We deployed our lending system during last Cosmoverse. So we are, in fact, barely a year out in the production with the leverage module. Since then, we constantly improving the healthy measures. We deployed more than 20 parameters to measure the risk and set internal models to constantly monitor the health of the system. We created the whole process of onboarding a new asset, and every week we are updating the on-chain parameters to make sure that the system stays healthy. We also created a smart oracle, which I barely mentioned. It's designed to run algorithms based on the price data to prevent price manipulation. This helps to fight against price manipulation attacks. So in fact, we are the first blockchain to deploy such a solution in all of the crypto. And we basically also tested with attacks like the Mango markets to make sure that this kind of an attack is less likelihood. The Umee Oracle, in fact, spins out into its own chain. So I think that we will be the first Cosmos company with 2 blockchains. And there will be more. IBC quota. So this prevents attacks that are showcased on Euler by implementing a smart oracle and advanced rate limiting technology. Umee can prevent DeFi attacks that are designed to drain protocol TVL. This is currently based on inflow and outflows, and we are exploring new algorithms to make sure that it stays efficient as well doesn't break the user experience. Cosmos, finally there. After the months in the backlog, we are shipping the Cosmos. It's coming in our next upgrade. With that, you will be able to deploy your own outpost on the Umee chain to make it more efficient to access our liquidity pools, lending system, or basically deploy on our stack. Liquidations. So probably, as you know, liquidations are the key next to the price feed, the solid price feed, for the security of the lending system. We are exploring new algorithms and shipping very soon a novel flash liquidation technology. Probably that will be the first of this kind in a Cosmos. So let me step back a little bit and talk about DeFi. DeFi version 1, it created a lot of liquidity fragmentation. Yes, we've seen like a lot of copies of things like AMMs, starting from Uniswap, and then the first generation of the lending systems, farming, and so on. DeFi v2 started with introduced the protocol on liquidity. And now we are at the stage of v3, the third generation of the DeFi. And Umee is there as well. So I want to claim that DeFi v3.0 is about unified liquidity. We've seen that already with superfluid staking from Osmosis, interfluid staking, and Me token is the next one. So it will create unified liquidity without taking your own yield and keep your assets secure. And about unified liquidity, it's really important for the interchain world. Because as you know, like every bridge creates its own variation for a token, which is not really fungible from the get-go. Moreover, the hops are barely supported. Yes, we are at the early stage how we can optimize the routes on the bridges. And finally, AMMs, they really lock liquidity. So this is my realization of yesterday. When I was thinking about v3.0, I got into that diagram. And I want to say that LPing big assets in a DEX, like Atom or a Bitcoin, is a terrible idea. Trust me. Like, think about it that you have tons of different pools, split about tens of blockchains, and each of that protocol, right? You have different pairs. You can have a pair Atom to Umee, Osmo to Umee, dollar to Umee, right? And then like all the different combinations with different tokens. This doesn't really make sense. Of course, we have like leading pools, like on Osmosis, yes, that would be Atom and Osmo, or maybe USDC also. Yes, but this doesn't really create an efficient market, right? It's not only about the DEXs. We have also like many multiple leverage pools. And then stable swaps, stable pools for stable tokens. And instead, so think about the use case, right? That you have your Atom, you're long in Atom, you want to keep in Atom. And for whatever reason, right, like you want to use EVMOS and get EVMOS tokens. So I want to claim that instead of like really selling Atom for EVMOS, what you should really do, you should be long in Atom. You should borrow against your Atom to stable and use stable as a basic pair for exchange. And if you think this is what actually happens naturally in a traditional world, right? It's like all the exchanges, they trade against stablecoins. Commodities are trade against stablecoins. There's no commodity trade against gold, right? Energy is trade against like dollar. And we don't know what will be the stablecoin of tomorrow. Today is predominantly US dollar. Tomorrow, maybe not, right? So things like IST makes a lot of sense because we can really natively adapt. Yes, we can like progressively adapt. It doesn't need to change like overnight. Yes, we can see the world changing. So I want to claim that the unified liquidity and capital efficiency is really at the core of, is being shipped through the leverage systems. So we can leverage the big tokens, keep them stable, borrow against them, use them for the things like IST, and then use that stable tokens, payment tokens, right, what we used to call, for DEXs. In fact, like the most efficient mean of exchange here, right, are order books. There is a lot of advance now, like how to connect, how to combine AMM with an order book, right? Because on AMMs, even if we like look at the novel AMMs where we have concentrated liquidity, active management, they require a lot of monitoring, a lot of activity, which is really not friendly for random users, right? We don't have a time for that. We don't have the tools for that. Yeah, so that's why we need institutions or other protocols which can handle that. So definitely the future is somewhere between the order books and a DEX, but more towards that we have really this active management and market makers. Rollups. A year ago, I don't really know like how many people were talking about rollup in the Cosmos ecosystem. There was a big narrative, of course, in Ethereum, but in the Cosmos we were rather talking about the apps, right? How to scale your ecosystem. Okay, you can build another app. right? So we assume, as I told you, like, okay, we are like creating a second blockchain. There will be another one. But rollups are really coming to the Cosmos narrative as well. Yes, we've been seeing it yesterday with Celestia and with Dimension. And rollups are really interesting because if you have your own stack, right, you can provide not only the efficiency, yes, so like remove like part of the consensus and like really provide the speed, but also for regulations. So if you need to be more specific or provide more control into entities creating your applications, rollup are kind of interesting for that. So why we need DeFi? That might be obvious for everyone, right? Because it's to improve the speed, improve the quality, and decrease the cost. And of course, money, a lot of money. But we need money, in fact, to go with these guys, right? That might be not clear at the beginning, right? Like, but we really need to accumulate a lot of liquidity to enable professional money market and capital market solutions. Without that, with the fragmented liquidity, where's like the back, right? We are not able to do that. Like, sorry, here, like the word on the left doesn't work. So we need a lot of money. And here I want to talk a little bit about the UDX. Brent, our CEO, pitched it a year ago. This is still something that we are looking at. It's like a solution for like creating a set of loan-specific blockchains that will create debt capital market products for building the future of Cosmos. So think about it that blockchain loan standard through IBC. A loan can be a blockchain. A loan itself can be a part of the interchain stack. And like there are multiple solutions how this can be done. What I want to say here that Cosmos will say, like, with the technology stack we have today and the collaboration, more DeFi opportunities, more building together, we'll set the foundations for fixed income narrative. And that's huge. If you are able to do that, we can really revolutionize how the finance works. We already have interchain security, like the V1 of the interchain security, right? There are smart guys building the mesh security. Capital plus developer interest is there, it's growing. Good thing to note is the enterprise interest. And finally, IBC and beyond. Yes, seeing more parties, not really directly linked to the Cosmos, but building with IBC or joining the IBC gang, that's super inspiring. And that's what we should see in the Cosmos. And with all of that, we will push this place for sale. Thank you.